Speedrunners have made rushing a nether fortress to gather blaze rods to craft their Eye of Enders a popular strategy, but in a long-term world, there's many reasons to set up a more elaborate farm to gather them in bulk. For example, in 1.21, we got these really cool new copper bulbs. The recipe for these needs a blaze rod in the center. Now, imagine you've lost your mind and you want a whole shulker boxes of this block. How would you do that without a blaze farm? There's also all these other uses. No matter what made you click on this video, I want to help you farm up some blazes. So using Lightmatica, I pulled out a schematic of the blaze farm from my hardcore world. Let me walk you through it. You can see each of these pink boxes have a blaze spawner in the middle of them. A lot of nether fortresses will have spawners that spawn close enough together. Like these are side by side in a nether fortress. I recommend you look for a nether fortress that has spawners that are in this exact spacing if you can find it. The world download will be in the description if you want to count out the blocks, but any spacing where they're side by side should be the same. You can also do this with just one spawner if you'd like to build half of it. It's just going to get about half the rates. Speaking of rates, we have some signs here. This produces about 1900 an hour. That's over 31 stacks. It's a dual blaze spawner, and again, I want to shout out LeBron for helping me prep this world download. So let me just swap this out with barrier blocks in world edit real quick, and you guys can see the layout here. Ignore the lava changing. It's just because this is technically the overworld, and it was still in the nether phase. You're going to be building this in the nether, so your lava will flow like it was in the world download. But all we have here is 5 blocks of lava flowing, and then a sign, and then it goes down another. It goes over 3, and then you're going to be going to a end port over here. Right, now with this set to barrier blocks, you can see that the lava pushes them 5 blocks and they go down. Lava pushes them 5 blocks. And then we have this scenario where lava will be at their feet and at their heads, and it'll push them over to where they get to fall down into this middle part. So as you can see on this side where the lava hasn't been updated, it actually flows further in the nether than in the overworld. And this uses the new mechanic that was added in 1.16 that lava is able to push blazes just the same as water pushes any overworld mobs. What's important to note is the lava pushes the blazes pretty slowly, but this doesn't use a mob cap, so it doesn't matter how long it takes for them to get from this room to you. All that matters is that they get far enough away from the spawner to spawn a new round as soon as possible. So all we need to do is make sure that they fall all the way down to this height, and then as they will not be counted towards the spawner anymore. We also want to make sure there's blocks on top of the spawner so no mobs spawn up there. And the room needs to take up the full width, which is a 9 by 9, 4 blocks on all sides. So now you know how large of a room you need and how the lava flows can push them to the middle. Let's talk about the kill chamber here. The player needs to be within a certain distance of the spawners to keep them activated. And from my measurements, this is about as far away as you could possibly go. It's that way you can get the space you need underneath the spawner, have the lava flowing properly, and be in a place where you can kill from both sides. So it is very strategically placed here. And where I have the actual placement is I center myself by standing between 2 different types of fences. This is a nether brick, and this one is a nether wood, so they won't connect, and it lets you just slot right in here. We have the place here underneath the trap doors where the blazes can't see the player, but you can smack them. And underneath these carpets is hoppers that's going to pick up all the blaze rods and move them over to the storage. A thing to note is it's important that you have a full solid block on top of any hopper that is not actively picking up items to help reduce lag. And this storage can be expanded upon using any various item filters and methods that you can find other tutorials for. I hope you liked this really quick, simple video I made about my blaze farm from my hardcore world. If you want to see more stuff about my hardcore world, I have a playlist of all the VODs and I have a world tour. New one is coming soon. Make sure you're subscribed. 15,000 days really soon. Also want to remind you that the world tour for this world and any other worlds I've made videos about are in the description, along with the link to the Colonel mod pack. But thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, leave a like on the video and make sure you subscribe for more stuff from me. And I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who subscribes to me monthly. You guys help me immensely, and I couldn't do this without you. See you in the next video.